So, Landon, that was always going to be a game where you had to try and break Vancouver down. They were
Sure.
going to give you a lot of possession. Are you happy? Obviously happy with the result. Are you happy with how the team played and the end result?
Yeah. Scoring in a soccer game is the hardest thing to do. And so you have to give yourself, in games like this, as many chances as possible. And Vancouver did a really good job. From their first game against Alianza to qualify here, what I saw there versus today is they've grown so much, and they're a really young team. And I think she's done just a really good job with them. And they were hard to play against. And I'm actually excited for them next year joining NSL, and I think they're gonna do a great job. So a lot of credit to them. The pluses for us were we were able to make 9 changes from the team that started Saturday against Portland, and that allows us a chance now to win 3 games this week. We go to North Carolina now from here, and that'll be tough. So the ultimate goal tonight was win, get a lot of players minutes, lots of minutes who haven't played, so that we have a full squad for the last part of our season. Rest some players. Naomi Garma didn't have to touch the field. Kennedy Wesley didn't have to. Danny Colaprico didn't. And then 4 or 5 of our women played 20 or 30 minutes. And make sure that we're in position now to advance the next round, which we are. So it was, all in all, a successful night.
Looking at this competition, it's the first year of it. How have you found it and balancing it with the tough battle that you're in just now with the NWSL?
Mm-hmm. It's unique. I was thinking today about it because I think in all the years of NWSL, between us, Gotham, Portland, and is there another NWSL team in? This is probably most games a team will have ever played, and the most midweek games, right? To have four weeks like this plus a few in the season is a lot with heavy travel too, right? So our players are just not used to that. I learned that my first trip was down to Panama, and I'm not sure any of them had taken a 6-hour flight before down to play, other than with their national team, but with their club team, not used to it. So it's unique, and they're learning how to deal with it. They're learning how these weeks work. They're also learning to trust me when I say lineup decisions this week are not made based on performance. They're based on how we fit the whole puzzle together to make sure we can win or give ourselves a chance to win 3 games. So it's just we're learning a little bit as we go. But so far our team has dealt with it really well. I'm really proud of them. And then, the ultimate goal is to get 9 points this week.
Landon, as you mentioned before, it was scoring is the hardest part of football. At the end of the first half, you had a lot of the possession, a lot of the shots, but not enough conversion on them. Going into the break, did you just think it was a matter of time, or did you have any concerns that you had to address at halftime to kind of get the girls in motion to be able to get the result?
I mean, they were getting in great spots. They were creating big chances. I think we hit the post twice in the first half, maybe once in the first half. We were getting big chances, so eventually the quality will come through. If we had to make some changes to change the game, we would have, and we were prepared to before we scored the first goal, so then we let it sit for a little while. But they did a good job. It's just getting more and more reps in front of goal. I think for a long time, they're just not used to having that many chances in front of goal. And over the last couple weeks in particular, we're just creating a high volume of chances. So I have to continue working with them just in front of goal and things bouncing down, bouncing around, the timing of runs, getting in front of the goal, hitting the target, and that will come, but that just takes time. But I thought they were great tonight, and eventually the breakthrough came.
And I believe also it was Caitlin Torpe's first goal for the club. Special moment for her and for her team. What was that like for you to be able to see that and to celebrate with her?
Yeah, I mean, I've only seen Caitlin on the sidelines, right, training, away from the team for long points, and then for the last week finally in training. And I give her so much credit because it's really frustrating when you're out and you can't be around the team. She's been itching to play. I think she's really excited about how we play now, and she's been wanting to get in and play. And honestly, I thought she was going to get through 45 minutes max tonight, and she was able to just go and go and go. And that's a big testament to her keeping herself fit and working really hard while she was off, and I give her a lot of credit for that. Same with Kimmy. Same with Jaden Shaw. Like, they've just worked really hard so that when this moment came, they gave us a huge boost this week by playing that many minutes and playing well for that many minutes. That was huge for us. We didn't have to use Delphine or Maria or Amira for long stretches of the game. We didn't even have to play Naomi. So I give them so much credit for helping the team, and then they should feel great about their performance. They played well too.
Is there much of an adjustment that you had to make in terms of, knowing that this was going to be a game where you guys held a lot of the possession and you were going to dominate? Was there sort of a change in approach that you guys had in training leading up to this?
No, it was more about just managing the players and the minutes. I knew we were going to have a ton of chances, and then it's just converting or not. So you want the game, ideally, to have a goal or two early so that you can then make decisions based on physical demands of what the players need. In the second half, it turned to, after 10 minutes, okay, we need to make changes to win the game. Fortunately, right as we were going to do that, we scored, and so we were able to manage it a little bit differently. So it is challenging. It's a game that, candidly, we did expect to win, but you always have to do it. And again, Vancouver, I think, played really well, and they caused us some problems. I think they were better than our girls realized, and pretty quickly they were like, oh, this is a real game. And so I give them a lot of credit for that. In the end, I think it was actually a pretty good game.
Landon, what were your thoughts on Hillary's game today in terms of her positioning, her footwork with the ball? Obviously, she didn't have a lot of shots to face.
She was exactly what we needed. She was calm with the ball. She's grown a lot in that area in the last 6 or 7 weeks. She, right towards the end, was alert and came out and smothered a ball to help us. And these are the hardest games for goalies to be a part of because you're not involved for long stretches and you have to be alert and ready. And that is what she is. She's a great teammate. She's beloved universally by the team. And I was really happy for her to get a shutout tonight. She deserves it.
What has it been like for you to work with Kaylin Sheridan, obviously one of the best goalkeepers in the women's game and star for Canada?
It's been awesome. She was the first conversation I had when I got here. And I told her, explained to her how we were wanting to use her. And she lit up quickly and she was excited about it. And she's taken off. And I'm just really enjoying working with her. She's a great teammate too on the bench tonight. She's funny. She keeps everyone entertained, engaged. And she's been a great leader for us since we lost Abby and Alex, and she's stepped in seamlessly. So it's been a joy to have her.
Hey, Landon.
Hey.
Just kind of, what do you make of, obviously for this Whitecap side, so young, like you mentioned early, and the fact that you've, until now have played in semi-professionally here in Canada. Now they get this chance to go up against some of the top players, top leagues in the world. What do you kind of make of what that can do for these young
awesome.
players?
It's incredible. I mean, for them to be playing on the same field with, Kaylin was on the bench tonight, but with Maya as well, and to see that that's possible it's awesome for them. You need to see it happen live in order to believe more, right? And so you could see in a lot of their faces after the game, they were so excited just to get to meet Kaylin or to meet Maya or to meet Mel or to meet some of the players. And I'm just really impressed. I from what I saw their first game in this competition till now, they have grown so much. And the future is really bright. I'm half Canadian, so there's a source of pride for me too that soccer and women's soccer in Canada has grown to this level. The men's national team now has been so good. The Canadian soccer league has been successful on the men's side, and now the women's starting. So it's a source of pride for me too, and I'm really excited now to follow them and see how they do.
Just secondly, Maya, like you mentioned, comes back to play her old club and, scored on the weekend. It's her first year finding her feet, getting some rhythm lately. What have you just kind of made of all that and the fact that the goal accumulated with this return?
Yeah, she's grown a ton since the day I got here. And I'll tell you what I love most about her is she came into the game against Portland, scored the goal, completely changed the game. But my favorite moment was when Mel scored. if you just go back and watch the film, her reaction to it. And it just tells me that she loves to win. She loves her team. She's competitive. And that told me everything I need to know about her. So I know she was desperate to score tonight, and she really wanted to. But she's been awesome, and I'm excited to continue to see her grow.
Anyone else in the room? Okay, we have two from our reporter back home. Talk about some of the adjustments going to the second half that opened up the scoring after a seemingly frustrated first half.
There wasn't too much to change. It was just making sure that we kept going and we didn't lose belief that the goal would come. There was a couple minor things, but not a lot we needed to do. I knew the chances would keep coming, and then it was just a matter of finishing them. So there wasn't a ton to do. We would have made changes had we needed to a little bit earlier than we did, but it turned out that we got the goal we needed, and then the second came, and then it made it a little more comfortable in the end.
And last one, what do you see as the best tool available for the Wave to continue to carry this momentum both in the tournament and in the league?
Maybe a chainsaw?
It's got jokes.
Jokes, yeah. Momentum's an interesting thing, and confidence is an interesting thing in sports. So we've turned a corner, certainly momentum-wise, and we now believe that we're going to win games. And it kind of sounds stupid, but that losing becomes a habit in sports. I've been part of it as a player, and winning is a habit. And we're finally learning how to win games. We're learning the feeling of winning and what it takes to win is now becoming more clear to us. I always judge the performance, but the results are coming now because we're doing the right things and we deserve it and we're earning it. So it's been fun to watch them grow in that way, and now they're fully deserving of walking off the field joyous because they won the game. And we didn't deserve that probably 2 months ago, but now we do, and it's starting to happen.